the virtual Crookwell Potato Festival. My name is Jesse and today I'm going to be cooking potato pockets, which originate from India. They consist of puff pastry, which I have over there defrosting. We also have potatoes. These are Andean sunrise potatoes, if you want to use the same ones I am. The utensils you will need is a pan, a heat source, a chopping board, a knife, a wooden spoon, and a pie dresser. So the ingredients you will need is, of course, the potatoes, the chives. Sliced cheese is what I'm using, but you can use any type of cheese as long as it'll fit inside the pastry. Curry powder, any type will do. Salt, I'm currently using pink Himalayan salt if you want to use the same. Just some garlic, I'm using crushed garlic, but you can crush your own if you want to. Some vegetable stock powder and some butter. Okay, so for the first step, you want to grab your potatoes, your knife and your cutting board, yeah? So with every potato, you've got to dice it. So first of all, you slice it, and then you slice it from the opposite way. Looks like you caught me just on my last potato. Now I'm going to give you a bit of a size reference, just while I finish cutting this one. Okay, so you don't want anything below this size, which is about probably the size of your fingernail, and anything above this size, which is probably half the size of your thumb. So if you stay in between that size range, you'll get an accurate cook. That way, if you got slices about this big, these ones would still be cooking, while the really teeny tiny ones would just be getting mushy. Get your butter, and you cut probably about your thumb's length. And then for the length on the side, so depth, probably about as wide as your child's finger. Put the butter in and wait for it to melt. Now it's time to add the potatoes. Careful not to spill any. This is another time when your wooden spoon comes in handy. Okay. All our potatoes in there, yeah? Now we just got to make sure they cook evenly. So make sure none are stuck at the top the whole time, and make sure none are stuck at the bottom the whole time. Now we're going to come back to you when the potatoes are ready to add the flavouring in. Okay, so now about 5 minutes after cooking, you should just get some teaspoons. Where did they go? So you're going to need 3 different teaspoons for the ingredients I'm using. First of all, 1 teaspoon of vegetable stock powder, which I'm pretty sure you can find in any sort of supermarket. 1 teaspoon of this. Maybe sprinkle it around to make it a bit easier. Just mix that in before we add the others. Okay, then 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic. You can get this from the store or you can make it yourself. And then just a bit of salt. And 1 teaspoon of curry powder. Give it a bit of kick. And then, make sure to close all your lids to not waste it. And you just mix your ingredients in. Too bad you guys can't see off through the camera, but this smells wondrous. now once we've got everything prepared, we've got our puff pastry here, our bowl of water, which we all need for this step. If you don't have one already, then please go get one. You've got your potatoes that have been cooked. You've got this, your pie brush. You still need the curry powder, so don't put that back in your pantry. You've got the cheese and you've got the chives. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do in this step is find and cut. You've got to cut this puff pastry into quarters. Any knife would do for this bit, including a butter knife. You could use a butter knife for this bit. Okay. Get all of those in there. Get a little pinch of chives. Sprinkle that on. Get a slice of my cheese, which is Australian cheese if you were wanting to know. That's there. Then you line the edge with your water. And the water is just to help it close and seal better. It's also why you press it with the fork as well, help it seal. And then you just fold the other side of the pastry over to this one. Yes, you see, when you don't overstuff it, it works a bit better. Just press down the edges with the fork. There. And we'll be back when we've got all of these done. Okay, so I'm just putting my last one on the pan. And so you cook these at 180 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes or until they're golden brown, because some ovens have a bit hotter than what the gauge says and some ovens have a little bit colder. If you just get a pinch of curry powder and sprinkle it on, it gives them a bit of kick. And then to finish it all off, you just dab your pastry brush and brush them lightly. Just gives them a bit of water and makes them last a little bit longer once they're cooked. Okay, they're ready to go in the oven now. Okay, so you just put them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes or until they're golden brown. Well, once they're cooked, look how delicious this is. So, all you need to do is just shuffle them off. Be careful, they might be a bit hot. And if you have leftover mixed like potato filling, feel free to add that as a side dish. But there you have it, and it's definitely worth it. These are delicious. These are potato pockets, and this is the end of this thing. Bye.